Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Um, so today I wanted to just go over some of my replays I had, from the past few days or whatever. Just to get, just to go over them and just to, like explain what I'm doing and also like see my mistakes and stuff like that. I haven't uploaded as many, let's say, gameplays as I would like to because I do get, people to play, but normally the people I get to play is people that I play like really often, and I have a lot of you could say videos against them in my channel, so I don't really see the point. Um, so if I get someone that is just not as active, or I just don't have as many games against them in my YouTube channel, so I'll probably broadcast or longer games, because normally broadcasting one or two games is kind of boring in my opinion. But yeah. Anyways, so let's get into the first replay here. This is a standard replay in the first one, but I don't really want to go over it because it's a Grey Lakes game and it's really straightforward. It's a really boring map in my opinion. Let's go with my hotkeys here. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so this is Momo. It's pretty much Momo. I mean, everyone knows him. There's not really that much to explain. Um, so we were playing random nations, random map, whatever, and we got a really fun matchup that you get really often. When you get Eric or Bantu, you can get this matchup. Um, and well, something I like to do normally with Bantu, um, is to go mill one as soon as possible. Some people like to go Civic and then mill one, to get those barracks in the middle, and get that civic push and get those two cities going. But I actually prefer going for the middle one approach first and then going for the civic. The reason for this is that normally the faster you pretty much the faster you rate your opponent, it's better because if you, let's say, civic and then middle, your opponent has already a commerce one and probably the civic up as well, so you won't really do as much damage. So that's why I like going in this way. Well, as you guys can see, as Iriko, of course, is also doing the same like me. Of course, this is me not knowing what nation he is. It was just straightforward. So I got a bit lucky here in a sense that and you could say that I got lucky or he got lucky that we're pretty much the counter nation to each other. But anyways, so yeah, let's check out my rares. I have sugar. I have copper. I missed this ruin somehow. Did I miss it? I missed this ruin. Wow, that's unlucky. I even noticed. So I have copper, sugar, obsidian here, marble here, relics here with Momo, diamonds with Momo. So overall, I'll say he has better rares. I have sugar, which is like the only rare. It's a top rare, but if I have to choose between sugar, copper, obsidian, I'd rather prefer his rares for sure. But anyways, so here what I'm doing pretty much is just rating my opponent, making sure that I'm able to delay pretty much him getting eco, or pretty much also forcing him to make units to defend his raids, right? Because a really nice trick I like to do is that normally when you're raiding your opponent is either is forced to react pretty much. So this is really good for me to pretty much just waste his time in his base instead of him raiding me while I'm pretty much developing my eco. As you guys can see, he's gonna be forced to make an extra archer, which is pretty much a response to my hoplite raiding in the back. So this is really good. Here I'm able to snipe this unit, which was really nice. When I'm in the game, what I like to do is pretty much press my hotkey. That's pretty much this one, next military. So yeah, I pretty much just do this, right? Like I press here, then go to this one. This makes it really easy for me to micro my units. I like a way I like to micro is pretty much press that key, and then let's say I'm microing this, and then pressing my first city. So I can pretty much cycle between my units and my first city, and that makes me that makes me really optimal on raiding and booming in my base. Okay. So as you guys can see here, in terms of ruins, let's see the ruins he has. I have actually more than him, which is, you know, it's good. It's normal as well, I guess. Your villagers are faster, so means you have more scouts in the field, you know. So here I wanted to be, you know, cheeky, hiding these units in the back here in the corner, just to get if he sends a merchant to relics, you know, he gets raided. You know, also I could also run away with this unit just through here, but I want to be sneaky, you know. Normally, if you lose a unit, but you're able to trade it off with the merchant, for me, in my opinion, that's definitely worth it. Because, you know, normally when you send a merchant, it's really slow, so you pretty much are wasting, you know, his time of not using the rare that he has. He's gonna get that unit later though, because he, you know, we've been playing for so much like against each other that, you know, he already knows that one of the things I like to do is to hide my units in corners like this sometimes. But anyways, so here, as you guys can see, we're aging about the same time. I'm already using sugar, and right now I don't even know. Actually, no, I know I have obsidian. Never mind. But I don't have any good rares, so pretty much I'm forced to pretty much use obsidian as my second rare, you know, which is not the best rare, you know, you can have in a corner, but it's whatever, honestly. Okay, so we age. He aged a bit faster than me, but it's okay. So as you guys can see here, he's going for university. He's going for a mine. No, he went for the merchant here. So in this case, normally when you're going for this approach, it means that you're going kind of for the boob approach, which is not necessarily bad, but you know, I'm not a big fan of it, especially with this kind of nations that, you know, they're pretty much, their eco is not the best. They're pretty much all about raiding and being aggressive. So what I like to do personally is to go for a stable and a mine as soon as possible. The reason for this is because with the stable I'm able to make light calf and spam some of them. If you can get 2 light calf in the field and you don't want to make more light calf, is fine, but you need to get at least 2 of them. And these units are gonna make sure that you know, he's gonna be pretty much in the defense for a little bit if he doesn't make a counter stable. You know, he's going for that extra civic, the extra temple. Makes sense, you know. Normally when you play with Bantu, you get that free civic, or not free civic, but you get that free city, which means you're getting pretty much the guaranteed the Middlewood, which is a big deal actually. Anyways, so yeah, so we can see here I'm trying to make some braids with my Lycaf. I make another one, I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, I don't make another one. Probably because in the game I was like, well, he's Iroquois, so it's kind of pointless to raid him. But you know, for me it's fine, because the whole point of you making a stable and a mine when you age up instead of a university is because you're trying to pretty much go despot in either rush a third city or just mass an army where you're able to pretty much just raid and harass your opponent. Okay, so right now, you know, he has a scout planted here and here, which is, for me, this one is okay, I guess, but this one is a bit retarded in my opinion. You can put this ones in the corners better, loading your flanks in my opinion. Okay, so here I make my second light half, and I'm researching military 2 after my despot because I get a discount from it. My plan here was pretty much to just handle my whole army, just raid relics, because you know he probably is defending it with some units, which is of course, because it's a really important rare, right? You don't wanna let your opponent have relics, because relics is a big deal, especially for nations that are really good in H5 or late game, like Iroquois, for example, with the Aquarius. So you know, you don't wanna let them use it. But anyway, so here I realize I realize the city is really exposed. He went for the city in this spot because he gets that wood here, because he doesn't have. Pretty sure he doesn't have more wood. I mean, he has a +3 here, +3 here. So he has. I mean, he can still make it work, but you know, of course, it's better to get the extra wood. But I realized that this is a really exposed city, So what I'm trying to do here is pretty much just rush it. As you guys can see, I'm researching Phalanx because I know that this city is really easy to take for me, and pretty much in this matchup, Bantu will have the upper hand to H3 or to in H3. Well, H2, H3, and then in H4, Iroquois can actually be better than Bantu at some point because of the extra HP on their units. So yeah. So right now, I'm trying to, as I said, stop the city, or not stop the city, just take it or just harass it, and I'm forcing him to make units pretty much because he needs to defend it. So a little mistake I did here. If I really wanted to take the city right now, I can 100% take it with no problem. If I brought militia, militia with Bantu are probably one of the most OP units you can actually get in this game. In Sahara especially because Bantu villagers run, so you can literally just pull, like, let's say I pull these 6 villagers, and I just bring them to the fight here, I pretty much take the city with no problem. No problem. And that pretty much is probably a GG. But, I didn't do it because, I mean, I didn't forget, because I built my tower, but it was a bit too late for it. So, yeah. So it's, I guess you could say, a small mistake, but it's okay. I'm still getting a lot of good traits here with my units. And this is where Bantu gets really good against Iroquois, because Iroquois has no units to counter this. What I mean by no units to counter this is that Bantu get crossbows in H3, which is probably the best unit to counter Iroquois, because Iroquois are pretty much are forced to get this spearmen. That later we get to Mohawks or heavy Mohawks, I think they're called. So they become pretty much really useless against crossbows. So this is why, if I'm able to pretty much just kill him, if I don't want to kill him right now, it's okay, but I just have to make sure that I do as much damage for me to pretty much be able to kill him in H4. So here, I'm just pretty much idling his whole eco as much as possible. I mean, if you guys can see, his whole eco is pretty much fucked just because of this army. It's not even like raiding, it's just idling his whole eco pretty much. One of the issues that Momo has in terms of his micro is that he makes this really stupid, pretty much instead of garrisoning one bill after one bill, he presses this key. I think it's called back to work or some shit. Or no, it's this one, alarm. So when you alarm your bills, it's really useless because let's say that I'm raiding here, or let's say I'm raiding here, and you alarm, you're gonna have a lot of your eco pretty much idle without it being actually attacked. So it's really useless, to be honest. Not a big fan of it. I don't really recommend it. Here I get a bit lucky of me, having my scout there, and I, find his scout, but it's not a big deal. It's just whatever. Eventually you will have a look at here at some point, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, so he went for Senator. It's not the best idea to go Senator, but by the way he took the approach in this game, it kind of, as I said, he went for the boom approach because he went for University, he went for those relics, like really fast, everything. So that means he's gonna go for the boom approach. It's not necessarily bad, but with Iroquois, it's not the best, because, I mean, Iroquois, like I said, they're not really meant to defend or boom, they're pretty much meant to actually rush and harass. But as I said, Bantu get a really good upper hand to H3 because of the crossbows. Crossbows pretty much counter any unit he gets, because any Native American nation doesn't get crossbows. They get heavy archers with fire slower, and you can actually, if they shoot at you, you can actually micro the unit and he will miss. So that's why they're not that good either. So here, like I said, I'm just pretty much idling his eco as much as possible. Doesn't really matter if I don't, as like I said, it doesn't really matter if I don't kill units. It's all about just idling his eco, pretty much not letting him boom. Pretty much that's the whole point. While I boom at my base. Like I said, I don't have any good rares for myself, so I cannot really allow him to boom. So I have to pressure as much as possible, so I can pretty much win the game. Normally, Normally, even let's say that even right now, yeah, this is like a personal opinion. Right now, even if I want to go for h5 approach, it's not a bad idea because I already know that in terms of boom, at the moment, like right now at the moment, I'm probably winning or I'm ahead of him. Um, is it a good play? Well, it's not a bad play necessarily, but you know, it's a less safe approach. But you know, if you're really overconfident, you could go for it. But right now I'm in a really good spot. You know, I'm already building my castle here. It's a really forward castle, which is not safe, but I know that I have a bigger army. He cannot pretty much just stop this castle even if he wants to. So he's just pretty much defending. He didn't raid me the whole game. I guess he was scared of me, or he was scared of, you know, me raiding him, or I don't know, bro. But it comes to the point where he's just not able to do anything against me now. I do a really good ambush here, which very much focuses Wells income again. 2 caravans down, it's a big deal actually. He's pretty much getting all the walls from diamonds into markets because none of the caravans are working thanks to my raids earlier. For me, for instance, I'm already in a really good spot in terms of knowledge. My eco is gonna go to 200 soon because I'm already getting my lumber mills, my granaries, and right now I know that I need to get to h4 and just kill him. If I h4 and let's say I kill him, but he ages, it's totally fine for me because he doesn't have the ego to make an army. So even if he ages up to h5, let's say for, you know, hypothetically, it doesn't really matter because he cannot counter my bigger army with the castle upgrades, etc. Here, pretty much, this is why I'm telling you guys, this is pretty much the best way to counter the Iroquois units. Just get a bunch of fucking crossbows, and you will eventually just kill this army. I'm able to snipe the Monarch, or not the Monarch, the Senator here, because thanks to all my pikes that I have here, they snipe the Senator really fast actually. Here again, I'm idling his Wells income. I think if you're able to raid the caravans of a lot of nations that are pretty much don't have any Wells bonus, it's a really big deal in my opinion because they cannot pretty much recover from it till it's gonna take some time, let's say, for instance. So this is really good. So right now I'm just taking really good fights here. I'm idling his Wells income. I'm also idling this metal mine, which is also a big deal. Any nation that has special heavy infantry units, like Spanish, Iroquois, if you're able to stop the mines, it's a big deal because they cannot produce the amount of units they would like to, you know. So it's really good for me. So right now I can pretty much just stay here and be like annoying as possible, or I can just run away if I want to. I mean, if I know he has an army, I could run away. But I mean, I know he doesn't have an army, so I can literally stay here for like the next 2 minutes, and he will eventually call it. Because I'm aging, I'm gonna get my upgrades. But you know, I'm playing it safe. You know, right now I don't really know what units he has because of the Iroquois, even though I have an upgraded scout. Another tip when you play against Iroquois is always have a scout near your armies, or your main army, so you don't get ambushed by this ambush units pretty much. So here I'm just fighting and fighting. I mean, for me, with Despot is fine to fight and get some armies, but it's okay. So right now I H, and I'm continuing raiding his eco as much as possible. So he has the knowledge to H if he wants to, but he doesn't have any castle or any eco really to. I mean, his eco is actually not that bad, but he needs to get a castle jet and H. So I'm already in a really good advantage, and I'm gonna start spamming arquebusiers, which are pretty much the counter to this heavy infantry units. So right now I'm in a really good spot. You know, I just don't have to take any stupid fight, and I'm totally fine. I just have to chill right now, and I should be fine. Yes, a lot of eco floating, as you can see, 700 wood almost, which is a lot of resources. And you know, he realizes he cannot win. He calls it GG. And this is just a way, like I want to show you guys that Iroquois against Bantu is a really, it's not an unfair matchup, but it's a matchup that if you're gonna play with Bantu, you will have an advantage. Doesn't really matter like the rares you have. As you guys can see, I only had one good rare. I had Obsidian, which is a good rare actually in this case because I got more damage with my crossbows. But it doesn't mean that it's a good rare. But the difference here between why I won and with worse rares is simply because I took advantage of my nation against Iroquois, and I played aggressive. I didn't let Momo boom or do anything, which will affect me in the later, like in the later stages in the game. So that's why I won pretty much. If I was just booming, because I see a lot of people going Senator with Bantu. If I was just booming with Senator and then pretty much just jerking off in my base, this will allow Momo to pretty much boom and kill me. Because in a head against head-to-head fight between my army and his army, till H3 I get the advantage, but in H4 if we get the same size army, he actually wins with the more HP units. He has I think 10 more HP. Let me see. Yeah, Varg units have plus 10% hit points, so plus 10% more HP, which is actually a really big deal. So that's why I won this game pretty much. So yeah, hopefully you guys learn something from this game. I think I played this game really well, so there's really not many mistakes I did here. I guess I don't even know if I could have done something else. I mean, probably the only mistake I had, like I said, if I wanted to finish the game earlier, was pretty much just pulling my militia here. But it's not a big deal, but it's a better way to pretty much play in H2 Rush, in my opinion, and the nation, of course. Okay, so we go to the next replay here, and this replay, it's also a really good matchup here. It's Aztecs against fucking Spanish, and in this matchup, I think it's a really good matchup for Aztecs, but if the Spanish are able to get a really big mass of tercios, doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter if they don't get the plunder. If they get a lot of tercios, you will never counter that army. It's really hard. So normally I think it's a really balanced matchup, especially if both nations get decent ruins. If the Spanish get really good ruins, I think they're in a really good spot. If they get less ruins or maybe 2 more, 3 more, I think Aztecs get the bigger advantage. Of course, the Spanish, some strong parts about the Spanish as well is that they have crossbows in H3, so they can actually kill Aztecs in H3 if played properly. Aztecs, by the other hand, they have to pretty much boom to H4 with some raids, pretty much to stop the Spanish of pretty much aging before them, and get extra plunder. Okay, so anyways, so here we can see that I have wool, I have spice, which are they're okay rares. Not that bad. I have gems here, soda here, and Momo gets copper, which is useless. Wine, it's actually not bad, and it's first. So he actually gets some good ruins, good rares here for going despot, which is normally what you like to do with Spanish. Anyways, here I got a bit unlucky on not getting this unit. It was pretty much one hit if all my units should have hit, but he ran away, so good for him. So here he gets, he went for Civic first. I'm pretty sure. I can remember, but he's not able to place a Civic because he needs to make some units right to defend. In terms of ruins, he has double my ruins, but let's not forget that he went for science too. So this is actually really shit amount of ruins he got this game, or at the moment. But he will actually eventually get the other ones. He will, I think, get this one at some point and get this one. So he will eventually get more than me. But normally ruins what matter the most in the early game. Here, as you guys can see, I saw the city going up, so I'm just trying to delay it as much as possible. Here, I guess a bit unlucky that I'm not able to get any of these units, but it's just what it is. So yeah, he's forced to make a hull plate as well, which is actually really good for me. Because you know making archers is okay, but making a hoplite that slows you even more you down because it costs us food and wood, you know. So it's really good for me. So right now, you know, I have delayed his Civic 1 for 3 minutes, which is mind blowing. Now the amount of ruins he has, it's 716, which is still. Oh, I hear one more ruin. So that's no more ruins in the map. So he got 788, which is almost double the ruins, but he went for Civic 2. So here I just micro my units to make sure I delay the city as much as possible. I get a free kill here. He gets the city up, which is fine for me. Because I'm already in a really good spot. You know, I'm about to age. I already have a market. And I'm about to get a caravan as well. So right now I'm in a better spot. So it pretty much does that. His science 2 didn't pay off as he expected. Here, even if I wanted to do it, I mean, just to get not even cocky. I mean, you know, if I knew he was this slow, I knew he was gonna be slow, but I was not expecting him to be so slow in the H up. But right now, if I really wanted to, I could even go for Civic 2 here, and which is really fucking stupid with Aztecs. But I mean, right now it's totally fine because he cannot really do anything to stop it. So I H, and he's literally 50 foot, which is fucking crazy. Really slow, really slow. But it's fine. So right now I can just make it stable like I'm doing and harass him. But I think in this situation, you know, if I was playing a worse player or someone that I don't know how he plays, I'd probably go for stable. But I think when you play against Momo, he normally plays in the boomy way or defensive way, unless he rushes. So I could actually just go for universities and get my Commerce 2 and Civic 2, and I think it was better than going for the stable right now and making it like a. For some fucking reason, so right now, as you guys can see, I already have my mine, my stable like I always do, like I said. And I actually get my university really soon as well, because, you know, I want to get that H up before him. So here, I actually, for some fucking reason, I mean, I don't want to say I'm trolling, but I was pretty much careless, to be honest. And I lose this unit. Really stupid, actually. Tried to microwave there like a little bit too, but it's really stupid. Anyways, I lost that unit, and it's okay. I mean, it's not a big deal, but you know, it's a really silly move, to be honest. Because I could have sent this unit over here or somewhere else to delay that, just to attack a rare or something. Anyways, he ages up, and I'm just booming. You know, I'm using peacocks here, which means I'm getting wealth income. I already sent to wool. This wool merchant is in a really bad spot because, as you guys can see, there's rocks here, so I cannot tower it. So I had to put it more like in this area to tower it, but it's okay. I sent my merchant to spies here to get my extra wells for my caravans, and you know, that knowledge income, which is nice. Here I sent a unit just to fuck around with the forest merchant. I mean, I know I cannot stop this. Oh, here actually micro is like a god. Look at that. Insane. Actually, I micro this really good actually. Anyways, here I can, you know, delay this as much as possible like I'm doing, but I'm scared he has to stable up. So I'd rather run away than sitting here and then just having my unit die for free. Because these units are useless. But if you can garrison them in your cities like I'm doing here, they become really good actually because they counter the enemy raids. Which means that if they forget about the unit, you can actually snipe it with your one of your slingers and get plunder from it, which is actually really good for Aztecs. I mean, that's pretty much the whole point of playing Aztecs. Okay, so right now I'm really going for my Civic, my Commerce 2. And I probably sent to Salt at some point. So let's fast forward this. I mean, there's really not much happening. He's gonna raid me with these two units that actually become really annoying. Because he rates my Jamster, which is really sloppy for me as well. You know, just to let him rate my merchants or really important rares like that. Here I just send one unit, just to raid and see what's happening. And, you know, I realized he's going for the Senate, which means he's probably going for, I mean, he's probably going for Despot, is what makes more sense. And I'm just, you know, checking out what he's doing. Now in terms of the map that Momo has, he doesn't have any wood, other than the middle one. So he has no wood, which is, you know, one of the Sahara issues that, you know, sometimes you don't get wood, which is retarded. But at least he gets good mines here. He actually gets really decent mines, to be honest. He has a +8, and I think it's like a +6, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so he's raiding me here with his units. He attacks my merchant and then he runs away. The reason he runs away is because he doesn't want to take a fight where he loses a unit and then I get free plunder, pretty much. And right now I'm just booming. I mean, in terms of knowledge, I'm about the double knowledge of him. So his best bet is probably going for an H3 attack, like I said earlier. Yeah, so as you guys can see, he already has a siege workshop, and he's gonna go for the H3 attack. That's what makes more sense, you know. Here he gets my Soul Merchant a really stupid way. Again, I really silly mistake there for me, not towering or doing anything about it. But it's just what it is. Yeah, so here, in terms of eco and knowledge, I have slightly better everything, but not by much. Here I get a free plunder, which is nice. And here, I could have H, but I got really greedy with my H up, because I could have H a bit earlier. And he can actually, this is actually a really big mistake for me, for being greedy. He actually can take my city right now. If he sends all his units, he just attacks my city, he takes it. Because I don't have anything to defend really. I mean, I have militia, but militia is gonna get destroyed by the Skutari. So right now, I'm like, dude, I gotta H and get my fucking religion up. And I get really lucky here that he didn't attack it with all his units, and I had my lookout here. This fucking lookout, MVP of the fucking map. And now it's just really fun because I'm pretty much able just to snipe this sieges, and pretty much his H3 attack is completely failed. Pretty much, he didn't do anything. I'm gonna lose a couple of units here, which of course is good for me, but for me it doesn't really matter. I'm just taking pretty much free plunder. And you know, I'm just in a really good spot right now to win this game. You know, when you lose sieges, it's a really big deal, because losing sieges means that you're gonna delay your castle time, and you don't want to do that. Anyways, so he's still raiding with some units here. I'm just gonna show you guys how OP these units are. He's gonna literally one-shot this Skutari here. It's actually crazy. Boom. That's how OP they are. So yeah, so Skutari are really no joke, honestly. So yeah, here he forgets about his units, and I'm just targeting the Despot, because normally when your opponent goes for Despot, you want to go for, pretty much you gotta snipe the Despot, because then he cannot get in your territory. So yeah, he's just, I don't know what he's doing, to be honest over there, but he's raiding my spies, but I tower my spies. The one fucking raid I tower, he actually goes to it, so that's nice. And he loses those 2 units for free. And now I'm just pretty much just running around here, just trying to get some, you know, him to misclick some micro so I can just kill him. And I'm getting my castle, which is really nice. And yeah, right now I'm just pretty much trying to see if I can get an exit kill here, but you know, it's I don't get it. I don't get any, so yeah, so that's good for him. And right now I'm pretty much just preparing. I'm already aging up, and I'm in a really good spot right now to pretty much start doing what Aztecs do the best, which is pretty much getting plunder from all these units. Is this a bad raid? Well, necessarily it's not a bad raid, but even medieval knights can actually counter these units. If he went for knights, he can actually counter these units even if they upgrade to arquebusiers. Another thing I like to do is, before I build my barracks, I mean, I think a lot of people know this. Before I build my barracks, I like to upgrade my units first, so they don't become more expensive, because some people forget, and then the units become really expensive. And as you guys can see, Despot in H4 is giving you plus 75 pretty much resources, which is actually OP as fuck. And here I'm already fighting. He already got his castle before me, which is funny, but it's whatever. I'm also getting it. And here I'm just pretty much trying to get as many kills as I can before he gets his unit upgraded. I get another fruit plunder there. He's defending with spies, which is nice. And this is pretty much something I like about when you're raiding with two armies, is that you're able to pretty much focus his attention into different spots, and you're able to pretty much snipe units here. And this is really good, as you guys can see, because he needs to pretty much idle a lot of his eco. I mean, this is like pretty much half his fucking eco there. Well, I'm just running around the fucking map and, you know, just doing as much damage as I can. I really go for my extra commerce, you know, to get my eco up. Is it necessary with Aztecs? Well, not really. But I mean, in this situation, for me, it's totally fine. Just idling, raiding as much as possible. He's defending with spies here, which is nice. You know, it's always nice to have spies in your to defend. Another trick I want to tell you guys is that normally when you raid with your double army, make a general. Make a general so you can get the armor in your units. So it's really good. Here I get Bribe, but for me it's not really a big deal because I'm gonna pretty much get that plunder from those units, so it's whatever, honestly. And here I'm just raiding with my two armies, just being annoying. Running away, raiding. While in my base, I'm just booming, right? I'm just getting my eco up, I'm getting my mill. And yes, not even gonna go for siege, just prepare for H5 pretty much. This is just a really good way to pretty much delay your opponent of rushing you, and pretty much you're just aging and killing him. And I just keep pretty much raiding, being annoying as much as possible. You know, Momo at this point knows that he's worse than me in eco, but you know, he needs to pretty much hurry up and kill me. You know, he's trying to do it, but you know, it's kind of hard when you're getting pretty much raided like this in your metal. Like I was telling you guys earlier, metal in Spanish, Iroquois, and Romans it's really important. So then you cannot make infantry, heavy knights, or sieges. And here I just continue getting free plunder, just running around the map. As you guys can see, I'm pretty much preparing for H5. Why I'm preparing for H5? Because Tercios are really good. Tercios, even if I get plus 60 plunder, they can actually come back with Tercios with no issue. Because Tercios are one of the probably the strongest unit in this game with elephants. So you don't want to pretty much mess with them in a 1v1 fight or head-to-head fight. So the best way to counter this, it's like when you play French. When you play French, you don't want to, you know, fight one-on-one. You want to pretty much just raid them till you boom them pretty much. Here I'm just microing two armies. I'm running away. I'm raiding here. And just being annoying as possible. Already got my extra armor. Getting my eco upgrades up. I'm pretty much just preparing for the next HM. Momo, like I was telling you guys, he pretty much cannot do anything to counter this because he doesn't have the eco to maintain two different armies. And for me, any fight I take, it's okay, I guess. Because I'm getting plunder, but you know, I don't want to lose all my units. Because I want to H up and have my units. So I take this somewhat of a fight. As you guys can see, I'm really scared of the terrorists because I'm running away with my heavy knights, so my arquebusiers can shoot at them. Then I'm raiding over here, and you know, Momo he's gonna go for my cap, or for the city, but it's kind of pointless to be honest. I'm really going even for Colossus because we don't have so much eco that. Or not like a lot of eco, but you know, I have a lot of spare eco I can use. And right now, pretty much, even if Momo takes my city, it doesn't really matter because I know his whole eco is fucked. And I'm about to age up. Aging up gives me not only better units for upgrades, but I also get Minutemen, which are pretty much free units that you're getting. Like militia, so they can pretty much, like I can pull all this Minutemen and just kill like this army with no problem. But yeah, here I'm taking somewhat of a bad fight, you could say, but for me it doesn't really matter. I just have to delay as much as possible, and I'm good. But yeah, look at this. Look at how fast these units fucking die. Like this is what I mean, bro. Plunder doesn't really matter if you're fighting against these units, but you have to maintain the production of them. That's why that's why for Spanish, if you're getting raided like this, it's GG probably. And yeah, here I'm just getting really good trades because I'm just fucking up all his army, getting a lot of plunder. As you guys can see, it's fucking insane. In less than 10 seconds, I got 300 ruins or eco, even 400, just by getting fights. And yeah, and you cannot do anything about it. There's really not much you can do about it. He could have got that second mill or 4 mil operations. Probably he could have got it, but I mean, this is really expensive. You know, when you're fighting this kind of armies and this kind of gameplay, it's really hard to get your next armor because armors are really expensive. That's why when you get them, it's a big advantage. But yeah, here as you guys can see, despite me pretty much having better eco, having Aztecs, and having pretty much raided his whole economy, he's still able to give me a really good fight with his units. And that's why when you play this kind of nations that have a really strong main army, it's better not to fight them head to head, only if you have a bigger army, better armor, or age advantage. So in this case, instead of me just running like a fucking dumbass through his tertius, I'm just running around the map and just killing one bill, and just getting free plunders, and always trying to get good engagements. If I have a bad engagements, I just run away and then come back. He cannot do anything about it, really, pretty much. So yeah, this is just a really good way to play. It's just a really good way to play Aztecs, in my opinion. Let's see if we can get another replay here. We get this replay. Another replay we get here. It's me Japanese against Proles with his Germans. Japanese, I think, are one of the strongest. Well, I don't know if one of the strongest, but definitely one of the best nations you can get in Sahara for sure. Especially if you're able to get good wealth rares. The reason for this is because you get really cheap infantry units that are actually really good, like the Ashigaru or the Bushido. Bushido, Ashigaru, whatever, really good. Samurais are really shit, so H4 for Japanese I think is the weakest, but you know, normally you will have a 200 eco by then, so it's not really a big deal. In this map, as you guys can see, I have Silic, useless rare, citrus, gems in the corner, and probably it's actually funny enough, he also gets the third shit rare. So we pretty much have shit rares, pretty much. I mean, there's wine here, there's tobacco, closer to him. So yeah, I guess you could say, oh, and I have silver here. But funny thing is that I actually didn't find silver till H4. so I pretty much I didn't use it. Anyways, so here when you play Japanese, you have different approaches as well, which is a really interesting thing about this nation in Sahara. You can either go for the more aggressive approach, which is science 1 mil 1, get some units, and pretty much just raid your opponent, even deleting some farms because they get extra damage when they attack buildings. But this only works. This only works if you get good ruins, right? So it's a bit of luck based. If you get good ruins with that raid, then it's a good raid. If you don't get enough ruins, normally you're kind of fucked in the game. So it's a less safer approach. But if you get good ruins, it definitely gives you a good advantage. And this, the other second way to play them is to play them like I'm doing right now, which is pretty much just normal Science 1, Civic, Commerce 1, Mill 1, Age Up. The third way to play them, especially if you have Slick over here, you can, instead of aging, you get Commerce 2, or you go Science, Civic 1, Commerce 2, and Age Up. And you will get a 150 eco with your second city with no problem, because of how cheap these farms are. This approach is okay. This is also really good, but only if you get good ruins. If you don't get good ruins, it slows you down, and you can get pretty much fucked. Anyways, so yeah, so let's fast forward this. It's really straightforward. So here, okay, so we Age Up, and again, I make my mine and my stable. The reason I make my mine here, because this mine is really exposed, and especially if he goes for a Civic 2, he can literally take my stable and my mine. So the whole reason of this mine and stable is because I know for sure that with my Japanese eco and my silk here, I'm gonna be able to get my 150 eco really fast before him, even despite his being Germans. So I know for a fact that if I keep a good amount of pressure early game, I'm gonna be able to spam my Civic 2 with no problem before him. So I missed his ruin, which is funny. That's what it is. So he decided to, instead of defend against my raids, he decided to go actually on the offensive, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's like a counter-attack, you could say. But I mean, I'm delaying his fucking university, which is a really big deal actually. Because he's not getting the knowledge he wants to get early game, and he only gets one knowledge rare. So for me, this is really good. Just delaying, if you're able to delay this kind of buildings, like senator or senate or universities, is really good. Here he forgets about this unit and dies, but I mean it can happen to everyone. I also lose a unit here. He makes me garrison 2 of my bills, which is not even a big deal to me at the moment. And here I lose actually 1 Lycav. Wait, do I lose Lycav here? I do lose the Lycav to a tower. So it's just really unlucky. So yeah, so here we're just fighting for the Lycav. And I already have my university, I already have my senate up, or about to go up. And normally, I will say the best you can do here is go despot. Senator with Japanese also work really well, but I'm not a big fan of it. I think that Japanese are a nation that is built for playing aggressive more than for booming, even though for booming is also really good. I guess it just depends on the each player's style. So here I'm just raiding with my Lycav, I'm making a lot of them. Lycav are really, the reason why a lot of people make Lycav in H2 is because Lycav are really OP actually, really OP unit. With good micro, with 2 Lycav you can get the villager with no problem, which is really good. They're really fast, so they're really mobile, which means that you can be really annoying with them, which is really nice. Let's check the ruins. So the ruin count is pretty much the same, so there's really not much difference, but I'm using gems. And something, I don't know if he scouted this, I'm guessing he did scout this. Oh, he didn't scout this, okay, that's unlucky. Well, that's the reason he didn't check that. But yeah, so here I'm just getting some fights here. I pulled this really low HP Lycav. And when you're fighting these kind of battles, the best thing you can do is pretty much just do as much damage as possible and then run away. Here he gets my Lycav, they run away, and he's just doing some really annoying raids on my builds here. And I decided to defend with my villagers. Here, I'm just trying to delay and just be annoying while my infantry comes here to defend my builds. And here, I cannot believe this fucking landcap ran away. Now, a little mistake I did here is that I actually could have killed it with my Bailer if I went and blocked it. But I just, sometimes you're playing and you just don't make the perfect play. Here, I'm just, raiding Tobacco and trying to secure it because Tobacco is a really good rare in my opinion. I mean, you get plus 10 wells, plus 10 knowledge. Any wells knowledge rare is also really good to have in my opinion. And here I'm just microing, making sure that he's not able to defend this, and I just get free plunder from it, right? Now it's in my secure, and now all I have to do is a temple, and the temple will pretty much give me this as mine for the rest of the game. Now here I'm just running with my army, just to be annoying. Really, it's not. I know it's not gonna do any damage. It's just to be annoying. And yeah, I'm just being annoying. And here I take a really good fight actually, because I trade. He fucked up the micro. I trade one Ashigaru for 2 Lightcap, almost a third one, and this is a really good trade for me because Ashigarus for me are really cheap to make. Like 49, 32 for I think it's a 4 Ashigaru I have built. It's really cheap, so for me it's a good trade compared to this Lightcap, which are more expensive. And I'm already on my 3rd city, as I said. It was my whole plan in the beginning to make sure that he's not able to get that 3rd civic, because normally the 3rd civic is a big deal for nations that don't have walls, because that means you will get the extra caravans earlier, which means more wells for the late game. Also denying like some of his mountain here. It's not really a big deal against Germans, but it's nice. It's always nice to be annoying. Anyways, I'm already getting my 3rd caravan, and I have now in this position. I know I'm winning, so I can pretty much do a couple things here. I can rush and just be well, not rush, but just raid and be annoying while I'm booming in my base. Attack him with my whole army, like actually rush him with sieges and everything in my H3 attack. Or I can just literally fucking go AFK and just boom with spamming towers and castles and all this shit, but it's not really the best way to play with despots, especially if you have a big army. So right now I can just either raid or rush. I decided to go for the safer approach, in my opinion, which is pretty much just raiding and booming. The reason I like doing this more than just rushing is because, I mean, rushing is a good way to get skill fast, but you don't know if he has, you don't know if he has a big army, you don't know if he's just gonna have a better micro than you, it's a lot of things going on. And Germans are really good at getting metal, so that means he can also place a castle behind this city, for instance, which is gonna delay my H3 rush, so it's just not the best way. H3 rushes also are really expensive, because sieges are really expensive to make, especially at this point of the game, so it's better to save that for a castle, and for making units as well. So here, when he ages, I wanted to go for this as soon as possible, to make his upgrades more expensive, but sadly for me, I was not in time to delay that, so he was able to get the upgrades, I'm pretty sure. And now he's just raiding my economy. He kills 1 bill. He's killing probably another 2 bills here, which is really good for him. And he's denying metal income for me. So you can say that this is a successful raid for him at the moment. And I have to garrison a caravan as well, which is a really big deal. He's gonna get another unit for free, pretty much, I'm pretty sure. Okay, he doesn't get it. I'm also raiding his base here, just being annoying. But I think right now it's a really good army size. The only issue he has is that he has no archers. So in head-to-head fight, I actually have a better army. Because the elite Wuxi are really good, actually. Way stronger than the Vandals. And they're cheaper to make, so it's really good for me. Here with good micro, I'm able to garrison my units and just raid this. Here he's trying to defend with some archers of himself, and I'm running away here. And here I'm just microing my army. What I'm doing is pretty much targeting his calf, and then running away. So this is really good for me. Here I'm just microing these units. So you guys can see, I don't know if I actually run away with this unit. I do run away, so that's good. And for me, this is just good. Now, in this position, I know I'm winning, because you could pretty much consider that his race didn't do as much as he expected. I'm also running away with my low HP units, as you guys can see here, so I don't give him free plunder. This is another unit here, and I'm just making sure that I'm in control of the game. He's also missing an extra civic, or his third city pretty much, which is a big deal, of course. Because look at his wealth income is 52, which is terrible. No taxation either. I already have taxation, I'm pretty sure. No taxation either for myself, so I'm gonna get that really soon, I guess. Taxation is a really big upgrade you need to get normally when you play with this low wealth income nations. Now, another mistake I did in this game, I think, is that I never sent a unit here. I could have sent that 1 or 2 units to defend jams, because it's a really big, important rare. And actually, the tower is spiced at some point as well. But yeah, those are just silly mistakes that, normally you can forget about, but they really make a big difference here. So here he suicides his death spot. I think he was not paying attention, and he just gave me free 100 plunder. That's why, guys, always when you play, have a hotkey or a controller group for this, for the Patriot. For example, me, I have a hotkey for it, so it's pretty much really weird for me to have my Patriot dying. So we have a hotkey or have a controller group for it. This is my opinion. Here he gets my spice merchant, and he's gonna get my gems merchant. He's gonna make some raids here with these units, which are actually really annoying raids. I think these kind of raids are actually really annoying when you play against them. That's why you normally have a light calf in your cities, just to counter this. But I'm just not a big fan of it. I should do it more often though, but just not a big fan of it. But yeah, and he's really gonna be just annoying with them. And he's only getting his third city at 60 minutes pretty much, which is insane. Let's fast forward this. Pretty much I kill those units as expected, and I kill this unit as well here, and the merchant he was using. So right now, I'm already I can literally already kill if I want to, but I'm like, fuck it, let me just prolong the game as much as possible, because why not? I'm going for extra science. I'm just fighting. This is a really bad fight actually for me. I don't know if I keep taking it, but this is really bad. It's definitely better to run away. Also, guys, a good way to know if your opponent has armor is if you check on his units. If your unit has +4, it means you have the second armor, or the first armor, I mean. If you get +2, that means he has no armor. Then it's the same for when you get operations. You get a +6 in your units, and then if you get the monarch, +8 in your cavalry. So yeah, here as you guys can see, I'm just raiding with a lot of units. It's being as annoying as possible when I'm just fighting here. As I said, guys, I could have aged a long time ago and just take the city and start the GG. But I'm just having fun really at this point. So just getting free plunder, and I'm just booming pretty much. Let's fast forward this. I'm building Colossus because why not, honestly. Yeah, I'm just being annoying here with my units. Now, the funny thing here is that I can actually kill this, I think. Oh wait, I cannot kill this because he doesn't build it. But let's say that he was building it, I can actually kill this and get free plunder as well from it, because of how fast his units attack. Of course, guys, if this was a game where, we're pretty much at the same balance, you could say, going for H4 was definitely the best idea here. But I mean, when you have so much advantage, you can literally go for all of these upgrades, and you don't really get punished for. You won't really get punished for doing all of this. And here, pretty much I'm getting raided with this army, but I'm already prepared for it. And I'm just pretty much being as much annoying as possible with my units. I don't really care if I lose units, because they're so cheap for me, that for me this is not even a big deal. And now is where I'm actually gonna find silver, because I never found silver. Well, you can actually see it through the fog of war. But yeah, I only found silver after this, which it was funny. And yeah, let's just fast forward this, because this is already GG. And yeah, it's pretty much just H5, just rush this. Let's see, run away. And this is just a masterpiece right here. I'm just gonna wait for Margaret, and I'm gonna just pretty much trap him like this. Boom. And he has to call it. And simple as that. Not really much to say about this game. It's just Japanese are really good in Sahara, despite not having any rares. Of course, there's always things you can improve, like for example, towering this, sending a unit here, even using marble for the wonder. But it's all good, bro. It's just what it is. And let's cast one more game. Why not? Let's cast the regular X game, because it's fucking funny actually. And it's gonna be the last game we cast. So it's Indians against Americans. So this game, I think Indians are just really good. I think in the late game. Even though Americans are also really good in the late game, Indians are just really OP. And funny thing, I deleted my duck here because I didn't see this, and then I saw it, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Rebuild my duck, I guess. It was really funny. But yeah, but this map is fucking trash. The reason why it's trash is because, as you guys can see, I'm already getting one extra fish compared to him. And that's literally, I mean, it's not like a game changer, but it's an advantage that you only get because of how the spawn works, you know? So I think it's just retarded. These maps are also kind of boring, because if you guys notice, you normally skip mill, because you guys are so far away that you cannot really raid or do anything. But yeah, here I'm just gonna boom. I have really good rares as well. I have horses and forests, which is really nice. And here he gets actually on my lake, which is a really smart thing to do. But I mean, it's not a big deal, honestly, for Indians. So Indians will get so much wells. I cannot bribe this, I don't know why I cannot bribe it. But yeah, so here we're just getting some shit fights, I guess you could say, in water. And I have literally horses, dude. Horses are so OP with Indians, like, how cheap this shit is. Like 2 foot and 65 wells for the forest elephant, or Sir Elephant. So I sniped this over here, I sniped this one as well. I don't know why I'm not able to bribe that. Not sure. Oh wait, never mind, it's because he's in his territory. Anyway, so he's just booming. The Americans, it's just normal, you boom. Not really much going over there. You know, he's making archers to counter these elephants, which make a lot of sense, you know. These elephants actually die really fast to archers or crossbows. And actually, if you have an elephant against a crossbow one-on-one, elephants will lose to the crossbow one-on-one. So that's how OP how shit this unit is against crossbows. Here I'm just raiding. I deleted this elephant in time. It was 99%. So that's really good for me. So I destroy this dog. I can also go for, if I had more territory, I could have went for my own dog as well. Over here, I think. But, you know, you never know. But if I was closer to that lake, I'd definitely go for for a dock or even here, but I just don't have the territory to do that. So it's a bit unlucky there. I take this lake, and I didn't scouted this, so I never knew about this fish over here. Which is a bit sad. Anyways, we're just booming, as you guys can see. I mean, this is a boom map. I mean, there's really not much into it. It's just booming until you fucking get bored of it. And yeah, he's just booming. I'm also just booming. But for me, elephants in H4 will just be really good. So here, I start pretty much to send some units over here. I said a really low HP elephant, I don't know why, I probably didn't notice that. But this is really good for me, because I'm just gonna idle his eco and just be annoying. Here I take free merchant, which is also really nice. All of this is just annoying as fuck. So if you can just be annoying as fuck, it will be really good. Here, I'm also going for extra commerce, because why not? I mean, why not go for extra commerce if you have pretty much the knowledge for it and your pop cap or eco cap. And I'm just being annoying with these elephants. I mean, his eco is pretty much idle for like 5 seconds or a lot actually, so it's good for me. Here I save this elephant next to the senator, and he's only building his castle right now. In terms of wells actually, I could say that it's really good actually for being Americans, considering how shit they are in getting wells. But yeah, so I'm just raiding here. Nice defense for him. I'm surprised he's not using peacocks, like any part of the game. Probably forgot, I guess. Not really sure. Anyways, yeah, so now I'm just getting my monarch, and I'm just gonna go in his fucking base. And pretty much just be annoying. This kind of raids is what makes Indians really like a really scary nation to play against, because the fact you can get free elephants like this and free upgrades and cheaper with horses, it's just really good. It's a really big deal. So I'm always going for the H5 approach, as you guys can see, checking his library. And I'm just pretty much getting splitting my armies, one to take the city and one for raiding and just idling as much eco as possible. Because this is what Indians are good at, pretty much. I'm gonna get that for blunder here as well. Never do that. That's really stupid to send your senator like that. I'm just gonna be annoying as fuck with this army. This army is pretty much impossible to kill, because I found out with the armor, with the monarch, it's just too good. Here I'm also here I'm gonna take the city. This city has no eco, but it has a lot of his military buildings, so it's a really big deal to take it. And here he's firing. He was firing on my scout, but I managed to save it. And yeah, so I'm gonna take the city. He's missing a lot of upgrades because he went for that mill kind of late, and he's getting punished. He's getting punished for going for the boom approach like really hard. So if I was Momo, I would definitely go for H4. For H4, but you know, have an army, because you cannot just H to H5 and be like, okay, I'm not gonna get, you know, affected by it. You know, it's just stupid. You need to have an army to defend. Because I mean, if you think about it, this army is not really that big, but it's just he cannot defend. He cannot defend it. But I'm just booming. Like, it doesn't really matter if he ages before me. I'm also pretty much, I can also boom, and I already did the damage, so it doesn't make any sense. Despite the rates, the Hanging Gardens is really handy actually, because if you guys notice, despite the rates, his secret's actually not bad. It's almost 200 with all these rates and me taking the city. But his wealth income is completely destroyed pretty much. So here I forgot about making a scout. does it matter? Not really, but you know, if you had a lot of scouts here, or not scouts, a lot of spies, it would actually delay me of keep, you know, pushing here. So that was good for me. I'm misrating and being annoying with my army here. It's denying his metal mines. And here I'm just in control of the game pretty much. I already know I'm gonna age up. I can just pretty much, I can literally just have all this army just run into his fucking castle, die, and still win the game. Because of my pretty much, because of just the Indians how they work in this game. And yeah, as you guys can see, he has no metal, no wealth income, because I'm just denying all of it. And as I said, metal is a big deal. It's a really big deal, especially for nations that, you know, need metal to make heavy infantry and stuff like that. So this is really good for me. I never found out about Silic, which is funny. This is what it is. I'm already aging with 300 walls. It's mind blowing. Colossus with Indians, bro. And yeah, here we just pretty much just delaying the siege units to play when idle. We're pretty much just delaying the inevitable. And yeah, just gonna lose the city. And that's just a really fast game, really. It's nothing special. It's just Indians being fucking broken. And this is the reason why these maps in 1v1 are so fucking shit. Because there's no skill about them. You just boom and jerk off. That's all you do. So yeah. But we'll play to Momo. Nice game to Momo. If I lose to Momo, I did lose a game to Momo. But I didn't actually cast it because it was literally Aztecs against Maya and it ended in H1. So he got like 3 times more runes. So what's the point of casting that? But yeah. Other than that, these are the games. You know, hopefully, you know, you guys learn something out of them. I'm gonna try my best to, you know, stream more gameplays of myself. But as I said, I need to get players that you know I haven't played with, or you know that I consider them like really good. So there's actually a point of playing, of you know recording. Um. What more can I say? I will try like really soon to start making tutorials as well. If you guys wanna, you know, put on. I mean, I don't know if you guys are actually gonna watch the whole thing, but if you guys did watch the whole thing and you guys are listening to me right now, I want to start making tutorials about different nations or different stuff. You know that you know there's no YouTube about. You know there's no video about it. So if you guys want to you know learn something or curious, I can make the tutorial for it for standard. Um, just comment on the comments. Just pretty much ask for what you guys want. And if I know how to do it and you know I think I can do it, I will make the tutorial for it. For nations or anything really. Um, I have more gameplays of course, but I mean, you know, there's a lot of gameplay, so you know I literally can make like 20 hours of fucking just replays. So there's really no point of that. Um, I could also stream a live game right now, but as you guys can see, there's no one to play against. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys like my commentary. Hopefully it helped you guys in some way, and you know, see you guys in the next video, bro. Take it easy.